going to have to do something really incredible here tonight. He's got to just pretend that's a normal referee and pretend that Mick Foley's not out there. Concentrate on one thing and one thing only, and that's Sting. And I know that's hard to do, especially if you're Kurt Angle and the history that you've had with Jeff Jarrett and the history recently that you've had with Mick Foley. But that's what you've got to do, and right now Sting, I think, realizes that Kurt's kind of looking all around a different direction, and Sting's using it to his advantage.
As we broke down the tail of the tape, you saw the size advantage for the champion Sting, and he uses that advantage to his edge right here, overpowering Angle and down to the floor, and now Angle and Mick Foley have words at ringside.
I'll tell you what, though, to me that was almost Mick Foley kind of intimidating Kurt Angle there. You know, there's no main event mafia out here. There's no point. Just you're there in case they do, but, you know, as far as I'm concerned, Kurt knows where he's at. He can hear the counts. He knows what's going on. Again, that's another one of them situations that just make me a little wary of what's going on.
A tentative Angle as he came back into the ring through the ropes. Almost a feeling out process here, and it's Angle attacking a different offense from the Olympic gold medalist. The punches and kicks. And you can see that Sting is not quite prepared for this kind of an offense from Angle. That kind of a move he should be. The European uppercut, followed by being shot off into the ropes, and Sting is able to elevate Angle, and that's not a good landing.
Not somebody that's had the back problems and the neck problems that Kurt has. I mean, my gosh, he was up there in Ultimate X territory and landed, and it jars you when you land on your feet. Sting obviously going to just continue on, but Kurt Angle, if he comes through from shots like that, I mean, that just shows you what the guy's made of. But wow, Sting sent him flying in the air.
As Sting takes Angle from one side of the arena to the other, repeatedly driving him midsection first into the steel guardrail and flashing back to that empty arena match of several weeks ago.
So brutal, so vicious. You felt the hatred. You felt the hatred that night like you've never felt it between two people. And even when you thought it was resolved, Kurt knew that it couldn't be, that it had to come to this right here, right now. And you know what? You got to think about all of that and what happened. What Kurt's ultimate goal was to get this match with Sting one-on-one so that he could get that belt. Because when you're the leader of the main event mafia, it means a lot more if you've got that belt by your side.
Angle favoring his back after being shot into the wall by Sting. That's one of those blows that you're going to have to think about down the line, because there's always the potential for Sting to apply a submission hold like the Scorpion, which would work on the back of the challenger, Kurt Angle.
Yeah, great point. I mean, that's something that if he gets it in and gets it cinched in, I don't care who you are. Kurt, though, we've seen him defy all odds so many times. I mean, really, I think he's the greatest in the world. You look back in history of all the people we've seen in that ring, I don't care who you are. He's in the discussion. He's in your top 5. And in my mind, when you look at his Olympic background, this guy, pound for pound, is the best we've ever seen. But then you've got that experience that Sting brings to the table, and when you are the world champion, you always give a little extra to keep that belt. So Kurt's going to have his work cut out for him, obviously.
Angle fights through the pain, connects with a suplex, then unleashes the series of kicks. The striking of Kurt Angle, followed by a suplex, and the takeover leads to a pin. Referee Jarrett down for the count, but 2 only. And you see the eye contact made between Angle and Jarrett at that point, and there was no question that the cadence of the count of special referee Jeff Jarrett was right on the money.
Yeah, you can't argue with it. You know Kurt probably doesn't feel that way, and that's just because of that past and that hatred that he has for Double J. But I'll tell you something I've noticed. When they're in the ring, it seems like Kurt Angle has the edge. When we've seen him outside of the ring and it became more of a brawl, it seemed like Sting had the edge, using that size and strength in those quarters. But Kurt right now, inside here, just seems to have a little bit of an edge, and he's got a hold, and wow, talk about releasing somebody. He sent Sting flying.
Suplex, pin, 2 count only. You saw Sting try to use the power. He tried to bum rush Angle that time. But what Kurt did was grab on with all of his life, and then the suplex leads to the near fall, and now Angle with the backbreaker right into a pin. Here's 2, and no, just 2.
You know, again, you got to give Jarrett credit. Those counts are not slow by any scope of the imagination. They're right on. So you can't sit there and hold that against him if you're Kurt. You just got to do what you're doing. But the bottom line is Kurt's dominating right now. He's doing what he wants to do, and he's doing it in a way that's sending a message to Sting that, you know what, I'm the best in the world right now, and I'm in total control of this matchup, and he has been super impressive here in the last few minutes.
While Angle continues his wear down of Sting, if you know your wrestling history, you know that Jeff Jarrett, this isn't the first time that he's worn the referee's shirt. Very, very early on, even before his professional career started, Jeff Jarrett was a referee. Quickly shot off into the ropes as Angle. Swinging and miss with the clothesline by Sting. They meet in mid-ring. They both go for the cross-body block. They both connect with impact, and both champ and challenger go down.
I don't know that he's ever refereed a match, though, that had this much importance, that had this much at stake. I mean, you mentioned there's a company on the line. It really is. Just because of the power that the Native Mafia wields. And it's one of those where these two both want to be the leader of that group. Both of them right now struggling to get to their feet.
At the 6 count, Sting and Angle both are up to their feet and both meet and both exchange. Let's see who gets the best of it here.
Just trading blows. Both of them trying to get momentum. Kurt decides to forget the punches and go for the kicks, but right now both of them, you can see they're tired. They've been so mentally focused for this for so long that it's just got to be tough.
Follow move in the corner as Angle comes out as the clothesline. Then a running lariat and another by Sting. Angle gets knocked down, but each time gets right back up to his feet. Shot off again into the turnbuckle. Stinger splash in the corner. Big power move by the champ. Gonna go for a suplex on Angle. Snaps him over. Let's see if the pin is next. It is. It's 2 and 2 only.
So close there. You could almost feel it. It feels like Jeff cheering Sting on, realizing that Sting was close to the pin. I mean, this means so much to Jeff Jarrett.
How about that arm drag by Sting as the counter to the Angle slam? And then takes Angle high up into the air.